Hello and thank you for tuning in. My name is Daniel Carrizales from stockmusiclicensing.com, helping you monetize your compositions and your recordings. So today I have a very special episode. I want to share with you some of the music that has been accepted on AudioJungle, very old tracks that were accepted back in the day, a few years back, that will never, they will never pass the review process today for sure. And I want to share other ones who have actually been rejected and have never gone past the gates of AudioJungle. So I just want to review my own music, and I just want to show you really what some of my own failures, I guess, in terms of actually not making pass through the review process, and really why, from my point of view and from yours as well, so you can actually dissect what why this music track never made it really, and the reasons behind it. So I'm just gonna share with you first. The very first track is the very first track that got accepted on AudioJungle back in 2014. And you guys always ask me how long did it took me to get into AudioJungle, and the truth of the matter is that I was very lucky in the beginning. So my very first upload got accepted, and that I got really excited by that. And then my second one got accepted, and then the third one, and then by the fourth is when I started getting rejection. So I don't know what's worse, to actually knock the door and be open, and then all of a sudden shut down in your face, or to actually get through that door first, and you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's worse, to actually get accepted right away and then start getting rejections, or get rejections after rejections and then maybe pass that door. So I'm gonna share with you the very first song that got accepted on AudioJungle, and I'm just gonna play it for you so you can actually see why this song will never make it today in AudioJungle. So I'm just gonna play it to you very quickly, and we can dissect a little bit why this music track will never make it really. And then the reasons are different. It could be production, it could be composition, and sometimes it's arrangement, sometimes it's all three of them, and sometimes there's no really a good reason. There's just no explanation. So we're gonna go and dive into it and listen a little bit to it, and I'm gonna give my own review to this particular song. So here we go. Okay, so here we are. This is the very first song that got accepted in AudioJungle. This was back in the 1st of May of 2014. Has only one sale, and that's because I brought the price down quite recently. As you can see, has been updated in last year, and but you know, I updated as well the actual description, because it was really crap back then. I didn't know how to describe my own music. But let's listen to the track and get right into it.
AudioJungle. AudioJungle.
Okay, this is the very first mistake. First of all, it's a nice composition, okay, but it's not even a composition, it's just like a riff going on a loop. That's mistake number one. Number two is that the intro is way too long, okay? It doesn't go to the point. There is no melody, there's no hook. It's just a guitar riff, really. So it's nothing really special. I wouldn't even use this particular song as a background for one of my videos or my vlogs myself. So that's the very first thing that you have to ask. Will you use your own music track as a background music for your own project? So I mean, we're in second 30 and it's already dragging. This is rule number one: don't do long intros. In terms of production, it's not that bad because there's not many instruments going on. It's just guitar, bass, and some drum loops in the background, really. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. It's just there's just nothing to it, you know. So this will never make the light of day today in AudioJungle. So let's carry on and see what else is in there.
AudioJungle.
Okay, a nice little guitar riff. This is my way to add some kind of elements to the actual composition. Not bad, nothing wrong with it, but I don't know if this is really AudioJungle material of 2019. Again, the mistake keeps popping up again and again. The same riff repeated over the same chord progression. This is something that is unacceptable, really. So this is a perfect example that is something that you shouldn't do. In this case, there should be much more variations. Every bar or so, some kind of a new element should be added to the actual composition. And it just carries on and it drags, really. So it just carries on forever, really. And then go back to the same part all over again. This is something that I wouldn't be proud to show around, but this is my very first track that got accepted there, and it just has a sentimental value for me. That's why I don't bring it down. It just marks like, okay, this is where it all started, really. I want to show you now something that never made it to AudioJungle, so you can see the other side of other music. So here we are. For example, I have this nice Latin music theme. And it's just it's unfortunate that never got to AudioJungle, but I just want to play you a little bit of it, you know, just something completely different now. Okay, completely different music track here altogether. This will be in the world category, Latin category in AudioJungle. This track got rejected once. I hard rejected. I went back and redid the whole track from the ground up, recomposed the whole thing, really worked on it, and I'm really proud of what it came up with what I came with, as a Latin track. And but it's still the second time around after I have actually really tear it apart and actually redone it again. And I don't have the old version of this, but this is this is it, you know. And this music track I got rejected again. Obviously, you do not upload the same music track twice to AudioJungle. You don't rename the tracks. I don't really advise that. What I have done is just pretty much taking the composition apart and say, I really like the idea, I really like the theme, but I'm going to do something better. And it's pretty much just a brand new track. I resubmitted it as a brand new track in the same kind of like framework, and it got rejected again. And it's unfortunate because it's a really good Latin track. And actually I have this music track on other libraries, and it actually sells. So that shows you that some things will never make it, and when you're really proud of it, you can actually put it somewhere else, and it will really do the work. So let me just carry on. I mean, we're on second 30, 31 here, and you can see that the track already has a theme, has a melody, has a flavor. And if I carry playing you a little bit more, it really touches a vein when it comes down to Latin and salsa music. Okay, so. This music track was made in Reason, an old version of Reason, and all the trumpets and all of the samples are really just they're stock samples, so it doesn't really have any fancy plugins, or it doesn't have any fancy sample libraries when it comes down to actual trumpets. So, you know, a lot of work went into it. work went into this this particular music track because I had to program a lot, all the percussions and everything. And like I said, I use a lot of stock sounds. I'm really proud of this music track. Done all with stock plugins and stock sounds. I was using Reason 4, I think, and I did this a couple of years ago, really. So a very old version of Reason, and this got rejected. Now here's the funny thing. I was so frustrated with being rejected a second time with with this music track that which is like a second version of this particular track. And I said, you know what, but I've done different edits for it, and I have uploaded this to Pond5 and other libraries, meaning that I have done this Latin music track, and I have done all the edits, 60-second, 30-second edits, and I have done a loop version. I even did a percussion version of it, okay? And guess what? I uploaded to AudioJungle the percussion, which is just the percussion and the bass, okay? I believe it's the bass as well. Let's hear it, actually. And it got accepted, okay? But I only uploaded the actual version, and I put it under percussion. So, and I named it Latin Percussion Theme because I'm really happy with it. And if you see the actual description, it does hit it is what it is, okay? This is what this particular track is. The percussion version of it, so I guess it made it, but so I guess that the full-blown production, they weren't happy with it, you know? So let's hear a little bit of the percussion that actually made it past the actual gates of AudioJungle. So let's hear a little bit this.
AudioJungle.
So it's the same music track, but it's just the actual percussion. It's just the percussion, the Latin percussion, and it's just the bass. So it's not much to it. So this particular track made it. So you never know. You know, maybe they weren't very happy with the whole production. I think even this percussion, it sounds very good. And it got me thinking. Maybe, just maybe, it would have been a better idea to just do the percussion and just focus on the Latin percussion elements of it without the full-blown production with trumpets and all the other elements, which is a piano, which I really love the piano. You know, it's a little bit of a shame, but I do have this particular track in other libraries, like I said, and I sell this track. So it just goes to show you that you never know what music is gonna make it. I want to show you something else. I have an epic film drum kind of like track that never made it either to AudioJungle. So let's listen to it a little bit. Okay, we don't know really what's wrong with this particular track. I have a few tracks actually on AudioJungle in this nature. I have like 3 or 4, and they've done quite well. I've used the same kind of like drum sounds and everything. So I don't know really why this track got rejected. I'm really happy with it. But this shows you that, you know, it's just one of those things. Some tracks will never see the light of day for some crazy reason. Sometimes it has to do with a composition. Sometimes it has to do with the actual production. We just don't know. Here's another one. This is a little bit more experimental, and well, this is really not good, believe me. But maybe it has a place somewhere. I don't know. Let's listen to it. heard this for ages actually. This is done a couple of years ago actually. So it's a little bit of an experimental. I don't know what category I put this in, maybe industrial rock, I don't know, something like that. Back in the day I used to be really into the whole rock scene and industrial, Nine Inch Nails as well. I used to be a real fan of this music, Ministry, and all of the industrial rock kind of vibe. Again, this was done with Reason, very an old version of Reason as well. A lot of stock plugins and some guitar playing in the background. It just is some of this music never made it really. This one is not that bad actually, maybe, but it's definitely not AudioJungle material for sure. And I just wanted to share this with you. I might do more videos like this of music tracks that actually have never really made it to AudioJungle, and you know, it's just one of those things you can't really tell why some music tracks actually make it and some other music tracks don't. So it's just unfortunate that sometimes we get caught up in a lot of we get caught up in our own heads as well. Obviously, I'm not going so much into details of production, or because each music track is so different. The first one, which is the track that got accepted, the second one, which is a completely different music track altogether. It's not even a corporate track. And it just goes to show you that regardless of the genre, sometimes you're going to be rejected anyways. And I know that we try to focus a lot on the corporate music side of it. And what I can probably do is just, you know, maybe do more videos like this to dissect a little bit further as well, different genres, because I do have a lot of different styles of music. I have a lot of corporate tracks that have made it, you know, to AudioJungle, and they probably have no sales. And some of them do have sales. I have a lot of acoustic track, which is where I really shine, I guess, and I'm really proud of my acoustic work. But for now, in this video, because I don't want to drag it too long, we can be here for ages, try to dissect some of my music, and I know your time is really valuable. So the last thing you want to do is to hear my rejected tracks on AudioJungle. So this is going to be the very first video of this rejections on AudioJungle, or reviewing my own music tracks. On the next video, or on video 2 of reviewing my own tracks on AudioJungle, I will probably go and dissect a little bit more, especially the corporate side of it, which is something that I really struggled for years when it came down to doing corporate music. And you know, it's just something that is a skill, and is the production side of it as well is very important to know what to do and what not to do, and most of the times it's easier than what you think. Okay, so that's it for now. Again, thanks a lot for all the love and support. Leave the comments anything that you want to know, or anything else that you want to see on video 2 regarding me reviewing my own music tracks, and dissecting it a little bit more in terms of like what to do, what not to do, and why is this music track good, bad, or not suitable for AudioJungle. Again, thanks a lot for all the love and support, and rock and roll, and here's to your success.